Wow, first off, big thank you to Accu-Tie Rail System. They sent us some samples, which is very helpful for a guy like me, and along with Elon, guys like us in Minnesota. Pretty sure there's not much around here in way of backyard railroading as far as products and, you know, ready to go systems. So this is very helpful, getting this stuff into our hands. First of all, this nice catalog they sent to us. Welcome to Accu-Tie Rail System. They got their different ties. They have their 2 rails. They have some of the railroad tie plates in case you're gonna go to wood instead of using their plastic, is what I'm assuming. All the hardware, joiners. Been watching these switch kits on the internet. Would love to have a couple of them. It's a very aesthetically pleasing product from what I've seen in the pictures and on the internet. Let's see, we got the switch ties, switch points, got some other goodies, switch throwouts. The frogs. They have their plastic couplers. The railroad couplers. Railroad chocks. Let's see. And then these bad boys. Rail punches. And rail benders. So, if you can get everything in here, you're golden. Alright, let's check out all these goodies. We have 2 samples of ties. 2 samples of rail. We have the hardware, the joiners. And then we have 4 5/16 plates. One thing I noticed right off the bat is everything's well marked. For example, you see that arrow right there? It says inside. So you have a couple of these. You're gonna put them on your wooden tie probably if you're getting these guys. And it kind of helps with that. Basically, they put a little bit of that idiot proofness in there for us. That's nice. I like that. 2 sets of ties. Oh, we get to check out the plastic couplers. I'm excited about that too. And then release on the bottom. So that's, wasn't expecting that. Thank you, Accu-Tie. Looking at the aluminum rails, they have 2 base sizes. They have the 7/8 and the 15/16. We are checking out basically everywhere we have the 15/16. So these 2 rails on the bottoms, this is right side up, of course, but the bottom plates, 15/16. And just by eyeballing it, they're the same anyway. Yeah, it's cool. So if you get these plates, bam, you're in there, you're engaged, you're ready to go for the long haul. One thing I did notice is we have 2 sets of ties here. We have both 15/16 again for the base of the rail. But they do have 2 gauges here, which is new to me, which is why this is so great getting this stuff into our hands. We have 7.5 gauge. I'm assuming GA is gauge. And then 7 5/8 gauge. So, if you know why that is, help us beginners out. Make a comment about that in the down below. But otherwise, if you were to, let me show you here. We got the 7.5 gauge on the bottom and 7 5/8 on the top. Let's imagine you're locking all these guys in. Slide this over. It's just a little bit wider with the gauge. Does that make sense? Yeah, you can see there's no gap here, but there's a little gap right here. It's not quite in the rail there. So once again, we got 2 sizes here. We got the 7 5/8 gauge, the distance between the rails, and the 7.5 inch gauge, the distance between the rails. The rails, they feel awesome. Lightweight aluminum, but I mean, they have some girth to them. They're not lightweight, so to speak. They're not flimsy, cheap lightweight. In fact, I mean, this is a short piece. I'd be interested to know how much flex, how much radius could you get out of this, a 10-foot section of this tie. That would be good to know. Otherwise, once again, they have the rail benders and all that good stuff. Well, hey, let's screw some of this together. Let's play around a little bit. Ewan, we got some new toys.
Choo-choo.
Yeah, choo-choo.
Come.
How does this rail feel? Does it feel good? Mm-hmm. What about these ties? Okay.
Well, if you reach for the stars, you just might catch one. And if you try real hard,
Wow, what an awesome system. What an easy system. Especially for guys like us who want to get to running trains right away. This is really slick. We did 6 inches in between the rails. That is definitely wider than Accu-Tie likes to use, but if you watch any of their videos, they just talk about aesthetics. They do 30 ties within 10 feet, just because of the looks. They also talked with me about a lot of guys doing a lot less ties in between. I talked to one guy on Facebook. Pretty sure he mentioned he was gonna do 6 inches in between the ties. Not, it might be center to center, but something about 6 inches I thought I remembered. Yeah, wow. Cool stuff. Here's our issue. We are in Minnesota. These guys are in Kent, Ohio. So I gotta go chat with Deb and see what shipping is gonna be, because I think that's gonna be tough. Whereas we're in the Twin Cities and I have other materials like steel, you know, good old steel, welding up steel with the, you know, the flat bar and such. And I got that right down the road. But just look at that profile and everything. Not to mention weather, plastic and aluminum. My goodness, there's gonna be less maintenance over time. Here's a fun little experiment. Being in the backyard, we definitely wanted a system that can be walked on, or even to an extent rolled over with a wheelbarrow or whatever else. This stuff, rock and roll, man. Jumping on it, going side to side.
well, if you fall in a rut, you gotta pull yourself out. And when you think you had enough, stand up and shout. And when you